started doing this kind of work, there was a spiritual context for sure, and there was, like, I'm also a naturopath and those kinds of things, and all that context is there, but nowadays, and when I was doing you all know I do readings and such, so I've probably done, oh my God, maybe 40,000 readings over the years. I've done a lot of readings, and I've worked with people in amazing ways, from my point of view, in amazing ways, for many, many years. And when I started, it was very much a spiritual pursuit. It was a pursuit of service, which it still is, for sure. And one of the things that my background is the sciences, so I always crave, for want of a better word, a way to understand what I do differently. A way to have a very concrete way to understand it. And one of the things that in recent years, and it's been around for a long time, but understanding quantum physics in a meaningful way has changed the landscape a bit, because it takes all the things that I know to be true and have worked with for 50 years. I've worked with for 50 years. It put it all into a context that was absolutely grounded in science and an understanding of what we really are. And I've always known it's simple. I've always known that. I've always known how simple it is. Now I know it's even simpler than I thought. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too. What I'll do is, as we go through it, we'll do a lot of experiential stuff. So you'll do a lot of work with the energy and work with healing, because all of you can heal. It's not even a maybe, it's an absolute. The other truth is, all of you are spirit. So all of you, by nature, are not physical. And that is hard to understand when we're living a life of limitation in the physical body. But the truth is, we are spirit. And because we're spirit, we are mind. And because we're mind, we can do amazing things. And that's one of the things that, over the years, it's always astounded me, at how amazing some of the things are that I've seen, and some of the things that I've experienced are. And some of the amazing things that I saw people I knew doing, and I've seen people healed instantly. I mean, I've had people come in and see me and leave without the disease. Amazing. And I mean, I don't talk a lot about it, I don't say a lot about it, because I'm not about the drama, and I'm not about the PR stuff, and that's not really who I am. I'm more about being of service, and that's why I do it. And it's why I still do it, because I want to make a difference. I want to share what I can share in a meaningful, purposeful way and make a difference in people's lives. So that really is one of the reasons we do a lot of workshops, and it's one of the reasons we do that. So anyway, so I'm blessed. And when I started many, many, many years ago, people thought like what I did was voodoo. I mean, no question about it. And you're talking to someone, I worked in museums for 47 years. Now, museums are pretty conservative places, but like I was the guy who went to work in the museum, who talked to spirits and who did all that kind of work. And this is when I lived in St. John, and when I lived here, and lived in other places. My wife and I, we developed an interfaith ministry, because the other thing that we found to be disturbing, is probably the right word to say, is how many people were being judged, not because of who they are, but because of what they believed. And they loved their children, they raised good families, they were good people, and yet they believed something a little bit different, and they were judged for it. And we didn't think that was appropriate. So we worked hard at creating an interfaith ministry, and we started that like 45 years ago. And nobody knew what interfaith meant when we were doing it. They would say, well, what's that, interfaith? We don't get what that means. And what we said, which is what the new science has confirmed, is that every tradition has the same source. Every connection has the same source. Nice thing. And so we developed that. We had a seminary. We published magazines. Some of you may remember. We've done all kinds of stuff over the years. And the reason we did it was because we wanted to share it. We felt it had value, and we could see it changing people's lives. So, and it changed our lives. So, all good stuff. As we go through the day, what I'll talk about is some of my experiences and stuff too. And I mean, you're talking to someone. I mean, like I get people. What was I called to this? Well, scammer. I'm often called that. But venomous tongue demon is not uncommon, and things of that nature, you know. And I find it so. Well, I find it sad that people are living fearful ignorance. That they're so afraid that they have to attack other people because those people believe something different. And I don't get how they, and call me stupid, but I believe in divine mind. I believe we can communicate with spirit. I believe, and there are people in religions who think that, well, they do it, but they do it right. I don't understand. You know, what do they mean? What do they mean? They do it right. They do it with fear stuff more than I do, I guess. So at the end of the day, what we're going to do is we're going to have an opportunity to connect to something quite amazing, and connect to something that will allow each of us to channel healing, and to do it consistently and persistently. And I would say this, and I think this is useful to say at the beginning, that we, like in India, I have a lot of clients in India, and people in India, and people, Christian people too, are very ritualistic. You know, they're very ritualistic. And nothing wrong with rituals. Nothing wrong with all the rituals. But at the end of the day, what we have to understand is the ritual is not the thing. What the thing is the belief. What the ritual does is it reinforces the belief. I do the ritual, I believe it works. I go see Father Andre in Montreal, I touch his tomb, I believe it will heal me. That's how it works, because we are what we believe. And we live and exist in a world that is a reflection of those beliefs. So, and I don't believe, and this is my own fault, I think. I say fault because it seems appropriate. It's like, there are people who believe you can sit on that chair over there and sit and think about money, and money will come through the door. Damn it, I don't believe that. Damn it. I wish it would work. Paula will benefit from this for sure. But to me, you know, that whole notion is profoundly lazy and profoundly unproductive. You know, because if you don't believe something enough to take action, then what is it? What is it? And sitting and hoping money's going to come through the door and make my life good is not only lazy, but counterproductive, because then I don't get to live. And that's really what this is all about. This life is all about, is living. I mean, if you look around this room and say, I am not a minimalist. Just so you know, I'm not a minimalist, because I get joy out of things. I get joy out of things. And I have lovely gardens. I enjoy everything I do. And over the years, I've done lots of different things. And because I've done that, I've learned stuff, I've grown, I've become more. And that's nice. And so coming to the class today allows you to have an opportunity to do something that allows you to continue that journey. And that journey is one of becoming. And we're all in that process. And the nice thing about it is you never get there. You never get there. It's. I have no doubt we'll talk about the fact that we live many lifetimes, and that time is a construct. So how